This is the river mine. I'm in Florsheim and I just saw swans. I can't resist animals swimming on rivers. See if I can find them again. Okay, here we are. I'm quite a distance from them. This is the river Rhine, where my in-laws' ancestors settled. The Nördlingers in around 1900. The Bushes long before that. Anheuser-Busch came out of the Bush family of this area. Russelsheim is across the river. Raunheim. Frankfurt is to the right. Wiesbaden's to the left. The river Main is a tributary of the Rhine River. In 2022, there's been a huge drought, but it's just been raining the past couple of days. So I don't I don't know whether the drought has broken. We went over the Rhine yesterday and it looked pretty good. There were boats everywhere. Look, you see people are rowing on the Main. And here's the Rhine River heading towards Wiesbaden. Just a beautiful September day, September 11th, 2022. It's been 5 years since I was here with my daughter when Lothar was still alive, but he was bedridden, forgotten how to speak English. Lying down all the time. He lived until 2019, but Parkinson's is a horrible disease. So this river is, of course, the lifeblood to the community. Floersheim was a farming community, which it actually still is. I don't know what all these cars are for. Obviously people are living in these cars too. Something's going on in town. Although you wouldn't know it. It's very quiet. But I don't know who all these cars are. And then because it's so close to Frankfurt, it's now, it's pretty much a commuter town. Well, more of a commuter town to Wiesbaden. It's a little complicated getting to Frankfurt from here on the train. Let me see if I can find those swans again. It's always delightful when I see wild animals happily ignoring everything on a big body of water. Okay, let's see.
Ja, ja, genau. Ja, eben.
Okay, I'll walk a little closer, see if I can catch them again. You can tell I'm in Germany, they're speaking German. Ah, and here we have a sign. They do say canal a lot. Okay. Oh, people riding bikes on the other side. It's probably possible to swim across this river. I haven't seen anyone doing it. It might be too dangerous. There's a nice fountain. These gorgeous old buildings. My gosh. This time really is gorgeous. Yeah. Water is very noisy. In 1928, something happened here. I know there's a big opal factory very close by. Maybe that's what happened. Opals are these cars. I've never seen it anywhere else except for here. Not getting it of view. There are the swans now, over there. Boy, they can travel fast. Ah, there they are. The bridge was supposed to be broken yesterday. The bus that travels across there to Florsheim from Russelsheim, it refused to go. So, but I see cars driving across, so I don't know what the problem is. Tack. They ignored me, as indeed they should. Anyone with a camera is very suspect. This is an interesting tree. Isn't quite a mulberry tree, but it sort of looks like it. I wonder what it is. These other trees. What's this one? This is a maple up here. There are oak trees all over the place too. Yeah, after Tuesday we're going to the Black Forest for a week, where of course everything is spruce and pine, evergreens. Well, not everything, but most of them are. Oh, this is lovely. Something's wrong with my voice. I have to get it seen to when I get back. Very different sound. My voice sounds very different now than it did 5 years ago. So, have the swans given me the slip? Very possibly. More of Florsheim. Florsheim, home of flowers. And here's a boat, oh my, travelling on the water. And the swans are just hanging out, they don't care. Wow. Look at that, there's a tour boat. There's a blue flower. Always stop for blue flowers. There's some dogs. I'm obviously a threat. An old woman with a camera. What could be more dangerous? Oh, there we are. There's a tour boat. Well, it's not a tour boat. It looks, is it a container ship? I don't see containers. Maria. What's the flag? I would have guessed Japanese with a name like that. South Korean. This flag's at the front. Ah, they're transporting pipes. No? What are they transporting? This is not a tour boat. Ransom, Dodgson. Stage 5, so 5. Okay, it's totally legal. Gosh, it's huge. White, black, white, and red. Oh, it's Dutch. Zwindrecht. Not sure I know the Dutch flag, but with a name like that, it has to be Dutch. Wow, it's beautiful. Gosh, look at that. There it goes. Oh my, that was fun. Oh, a lot of wake. And the swans have vanished. Let me see if I can find them. Oh, there's another bird. Okay. It's funny how holding a camera makes me see things that I wouldn't otherwise. Because it makes me slow down and wait for things to happen. Rather than just looking and saying, yeah, that's cool. Let's go on to something else. Look at the birds. Oh my, look at those. Are they seagulls here? My goodness, they look like them. Goodness gracious. The Rhine and the Danube are connected by a canal. This I learned recently. So you can actually get all the way from the Black Sea to the North Sea in an inland route. Now this, of course, depends on Odessa being freed from the terrorist nation of Russia, which has not taken it, but it wants to. It's stopping the traffic. Okay, let's see through here. Oh, this is much faster than the other one. This is the Finnish flag. Is it not? Blue and white. This looks like containers. Okay. Yeah, wow. Okay. Let's keep going on this path, which doesn't look like it's used very much, but it's a lovely path. Germany is very good at making public spaces very private. What happened? What's louder, the motor or the birds? Well, it's good to see that trade is going on between European countries, which of course is the whole point of the European Union. It's very nice to see that. Wow, a Dutch, then a Finnish bird. What will we see next? This whole area is very multicultural. As I was walking down from Bahnstrasse today, I saw a group of ladies with their children. They were all speaking German, and the ladies were dressed in saris with red dots, looking very elegant, and the kids were just playing, speaking German. That's always nice to see how people adapt when they change their home countries. Now this suggests that water is sometimes a problem here. Or is this a playground? I don't think so. I don't know, maybe it is. Yeah, it is, it's a playground. Okay, forget about my water theory. This is a slide for kids. Oh, how wonderful. That's German engineering at its best. There's a hill, there's kids, let's put in a slide. Americans would flatten the hill and turn it into a parking lot. Well, maybe not, but... I think this is hibiscus here. Yeah, I have these in my garden. That's not mulberry. I think that's hibiscus. And look at this. And over there, Raunheim. My children were just amazed this morning at how quiet it is. Germany takes Ruhetag, Sunday, very seriously. You do not make noise. You do not put on machines that cause noise pollution. So I'm still walking along the bank, heading towards the bridge to Raunheim. Here are the houses here. Yeah, no, there's definitely a reason for the houses to be built behind this rise. I imagine, well, I know, the Rhine floods. Well, this is the mine, but when the mine floods, when the Rhine floods, there's a very good chance the mine will flood too. It's about 75 degrees, 70 degrees. It's not too hot because the camera's not getting hot. So it only really overheats when it's a very hot day. Let's see if I can get a better glimpse of the water again. And I want to see what happened to the swans. What happened to the swans? Have they regrouped on the other side of the river, or this side of the river? Or did they just decide, it's enough for today? And they've gone off and, oh, here's another one. Oh, Maya, this is the third one. This is the Taube. Has to be German. Oh, this is lovely. Oh, they're carrying cars. I don't see a German flag. Maybe if you're German, you don't need a German flag. Right. Oh, that's interesting. Look at these rocks. It's narrow. The river's narrower here, which makes sense. I mean, you're not going to build a bridge on the widest part of the river. But I can't see any swans. Gosh, look at the wake from that. Now I really want to get up to the bridge so that I can look down the river properly. That's only fair. If you've watched this far, you should be able. You should have a long view of the river. I bet it was absolutely delightful for Ernst Nördlinger and his brother Dr. Ugo Nördlinger to be living in Florsheim, in the biggest house in Florsheim. It's right close to the river. It's not a single house anymore. I imagine they family members left it after Ernst died in 1921. Dr. Ugo died in 1917. So the factory then went into the care of Ugo's sons, Rudolf and Eugene, who were killed by the Nazis in, they're not sure when, according to the Wiesbaden Memorial. But they didn't survive, and neither did the factory stay, and was never returned to the Nördlingers for all kinds of weird reasons that I don't understand. I guess the main reason was that the son, Ugo, wasn't involved in it. Son of Ernst. And the two daughters certainly weren't interested in it. Just a recap. The Nördlingers came from Stuttgart in around 1900. There were two who were involved in setting up a pharmaceutical company in Florsheim. One was Dr. Ugo Nördlinger, who was the genius, has a lot of patents, and I found some of his writing. So he was the driving force behind, and the genius behind the factory. And then there was Ernst, who had a doctorate in chemistry, and he probably just quietly sat in the lab and did stuff. I'm sure that's what he did. So Dr. Ugo had two sons, Eugene and Rudolf. I don't know if he had any daughters, I think not. The sons were killed by the Nazis in the Second World War. Ernst had 3 children, Sophie, Ruth, and Ugo, who was the youngest, and was drafted into the German army and sent to the Russian front, and he survived. I just went to his grave today. Grave of him, his wife, and his daughter. And Ruth, her son, was the father of my 2 German children, 2 German Blossfeld children. Hope that's not too complicated. But anyway, the Nördlingers came here and they lifted this whole town out of poverty by building a huge pharmaceutical facility, pharmaceutical factory. And they built the rowing house, that's where we started, at the rowing house and the rowing club. And then, well, they had already been dead 20 years when the Nazis came and stole everything. 15 years, 10 years, whatever. The Nazis started stealing from the Jews in 1932. 10 years after Ernst had died, and 15 years after Dr. Ugo had died. So that's what happens. You have the geniuses who start things, and then because of Nazis, incompetence, there are many reasons. Everything can be lost in the 2nd and 3rd generation. But wars and theft are pretty effective at destroying things. So we've come to the end of the river. I mean, not the end of the river. We've come to the bridge. I'm not going to go over the bridge. It involves going way over there. And there's not an easy way of getting back. So I'm not going to stand on the top of the bridge and show you the river, but I will show you from underneath the bridge what it looks like. When I was last here, this was a homeless encampment. Bridges are wonderful for homeless people. There's a theory that there aren't any homeless people in Germany. Just like there's a theory there aren't any homeless people in America. Well, guess what? There are, for all kinds of reasons. Yeah, they're fixing this. Okay. Schwarzfälle. Okay. So, well, this is a bit of an anticlimax. There's the bridge. It's so cool here. Oh, it's lovely. And the swans are nowhere to be found. And this is on the other side of the bridge. Okay. A lot of kids on bikes, a lot of adults on bikes. Oh, look at that volleyball. Well, thank you for watching. Susanna J. Dodgson, September 11th, 2022. May you be blessed and may you live in peace. That's the most important thing. Thank you. peacescientists.org